What is going on, guys and girls? It is Nick, also known as BournGamer, the worst birth name ever. Seriously, try and put that on a Scantron. It is awful. No, let me address something about the gameplay real quick. All the shenanigans aside, before I get into my little rant here. The way I recorded this, somehow at the beginning, I had my microphone unplugged, and it recorded the voices of people in my party. So for the first minute or so, you're going to hear my party chat. So yes, Root Onion, and you will be watching this video. I will make you watch this video if you don't. You can hear your own voice, so shout out. Shout outs all around. Links in no descriptions because you ruined my commentary with your voice. Damn it, I can't escape you. Or anybody else in the party for that matter. But I digress. Because I have a topic on hand and I am really pissed off about this game. And I know it's a game, I'm not supposed to be having fun, but at the same time I am just so completely and utterly infuriated trying to play this game, because I've had so much fun with the Assassin's Creed Onlines in the last couple of years that the launch of this game, sticking me into limited mode, dropping me from matches all the time, are just the tip of the iceberg. Because I gotta talk about the actual game, and I know a lot of people have talked about the good changes to this game, but there's something that I have to address that, without beating around the bush, it's complete and utter horseshit, Ubisoft. Like, seriously, I really hope that you consider how you create this game. And okay, that's a little cruel. Let me change this. I hope that you consider revising something, or maybe making like an ability DLC, because I think I need a little bit more than what we have right now. So a little background on the Assassin's Creed franchise and hard stuns. A term that I actually first heard, I think it was from Squiddish. I think Squiddish said hard stun first, and it kind of stuck with me ever since. But a hard stun is an ability where you have a guaranteed stun. You have a pursuer after you, you throw down your smoke bomb, they get stuck in it, and you kill them. And that's obviously without Animus Shield or whatever coming at you. There was also Mute back in Brotherhood and Revelations, in which you disabled their ability to use, in my case, the X button on Xbox, when they couldn't use abilities either. It was great because they were just completely and totally vulnerable, and you could just fuck with them for the 5 seconds while they were completely and totally vulnerable. And I love that. I used Smoke and Mute from ACB through ACR, and then I started AC3 with Smoke. And then there was the anti-smoking campaign because, you know, you gotta save the children. But I digress once more. There's been hard stuns in the game ever since. In AC3 they had the knife stun, and I was like, okay, they have knives again, hopefully the knife stun will be just as effective in AC4. Wrong. Didn't fucking happen. Knives are the worst for hard stunning now, because they get my hopes up so big, because I'm like, I'm so trained from Assassin's Creed 3 where these hard stuns are just automatic. You know, you knife somebody, it's got a good cooldown, a fair cooldown I thought for knives, because they're not super overpowered ability, and the only way you're getting knife stun is if you had a bad approach, so you gotta blame the pursuer in that aspect. But knives are just complete and total garbage, and I wasn't 100% sure if maybe it was just me, maybe it was a connection issue, but I just watched the Lady Trickster's video today where she detailed the whole knife stunning thing. And the thing I surmised from the whole video is that don't try knife stuns anymore. The only thing they're really good for is stopping pursuers, say in like Artifact Assault, and maybe people running away in Manhunt, and possibly Game Lab modes, because they're, in terms of deathmatch, in terms of maybe Wanted, any of the free-for-all modes, I have no idea how the heck it's going to work in Assassinate. People are just honestly only going to be using gun in Assassinate the way this is going to work. Because, you know, kills are the only thing that matter now, because you get despawned on stun, which is something I'll talk about in another video. Hopefully it's a good thing. I don't know. I really haven't had time to play around with it, but so knives are gone. So that's the one hard stun that I was like really down with in Assassin's Creed 3. So now that leaves us with a little bit of a dilemma, and that's what I call the first place problems in Assassin's Creed Online. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I will enlighten you. The higher place you are in a match, the more pursuers the game is likely to put on you. So it's not uncommon to have anywhere from 1 to 4 pursuers on you at one time. And doing the math, there's 3 abilities, there's 1 of you, and there's 4 people all with 3 abilities coming after you. So doing the math in my head, that equals to 1, 2, 3, you're fucked. you were absolutely fucked. However, there was always a saving grace, and that was those guaranteed stuns that could come from possibly a smoke bomb, the mute, and especially such small maps like this. If you were able to catch more than one person in a smoke bomb, it was completely and totally plausible to get out of a 4 pursuer scenario until, you know, they all respawned and got you as a target again, but at least you got a couple of points out of it to begin with. And now what is there? There's disruption, in which you have to throw it at them and then sprint around out of their sight so their lock can't get to you. So the only possible defense right now is exposing yourself by sprinting so that the other 3 players, well, up to 3 players. I've actually seen up to 5 pursuers. That's ridiculous. That is just not fair to any player out there. There's 8 people in a match, so that means only 2 people in the game are not trying to kill you. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I just don't understand the mentality in creating this game and crafting this game where all of a sudden you start to punish the people in first place. I understand that there's always been that excitement of, you know, you have more than one thing to worry about. Obviously the person in last place doesn't deserve to have a target, you know, somebody pursuing them. And I won't say that. I won't say that they don't deserve. I think that it's equally fair that everybody has at least one pursuer on them. And if the person in first place only has one pursuer and you have a hard stun ability, they're never going to die. So you need to put more on them. And I think, if I can read my screen right, do I have 4 pursuers on me, or is it just 1? I'm not sure. I got a tiny little. Actually, let me see this real quick. Let's see if I can. I have. Yeah, it looks like I have. Yeah, I had 4 pursuers on me. And sorry, professional. I know. So you know, I got 1, and I was completely exposed because that person saw the lock counter came up above my head and say, "Hey, if you haven't seen him yet, here's his tiny little map. But now that you didn't know who he was before, maybe I was standing in a blend group before and got a stun. Here it is. Everybody lock this dude, chase him down, and then race everybody else to who can put their knives down his throat the fastest and farthest." And it just is so tiring, absolutely tiring, to try to win these games, only to get my feet kicked out from underneath me right at the end because the person in second place has 1 pursuer the entire match. Because doing the math again, if I have 3 or 4 people on me, that means that there's possibly, you know, 2, 3, up to 4, 5 other people in the match that have 0 pursuers. So not only are these people trying to come kill you with knives or guns or whatever it is that they decide to kill you with, because there's, you know, no defense abilities they want to use because it's all about the offense now. They have nobody to worry about coming after them. So do you think that they are going to be discreet about coming to get you? No. If I'm somebody that has a target that has 5 other people on them, exaggerating of course, the only way I know I'm going to get points out of the situation if I have no pursuers is just charge my kill, because I know if I try and take my time, by the time I get there, somebody else is going to have charged them. So it's a really bad balance. Maybe I'll fix it in game labs, right? Isn't that what Ubisoft wanted us all to do? Fix their game for them? And that's a really cynical thing for me to say, but look at that. 1 more interaction, I get a kill, I believe. And then I'm completely and totally exposed. And I know it's not that changed from the last couple of games, but my main point is that there's just no way to defend yourself anymore, and that really, really bothers me. And me being an experienced player, and I'm like level 32 or so, 32 or 33 right now, and I still haven't unlocked any good abilities that I think are, you know, solid for defense. I cannot imagine being a new player trying to come to this game. It is just so unthinkable, having no idea what to do, not knowing the maps, not knowing what the targets look like, not knowing what abilities do, not knowing how your perks work, how the kill streaks work. And then you have to worry about the fact that you can't even stop the people that are coming after you. Like, if I've been playing this game this long and I find it like a legitimate concern to the point where, I mean, I'm able to get away from it. I'm using this glimmer-like ability. I use disguise, but once those are gone, I feel like I have no like legitimate option to come after. Like, if there was a perk that got rid of the lock prompt that came over my head, I'd be down for that. I would pay for that DLC, honestly, because it is so unfair to just give you away to all your other pursuers for getting a stun. Like, how I never understood that mentality, especially if it's like a silent kill or something like that. I always was of the understanding that, or of the belief that if you had a silent or incognito kill, there should be absolutely no lock prompt over your head to begin with. Discrete kills, or whatever they're called anymore, they're score multipliers, whatever. The game has changed, but it's practically the same. I think that there's an issue with defense, and I know it's obviously affecting free-for-all modes more, and maybe games like Manhunt or Artifact Assault aren't nearly as affected, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys do. What do you guys do for defense? What do you think can be done for defense? Maybe it's just me, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm Nick, also known as BournGamer, and please rate the video if you enjoyed, and obviously leave your comments down below. I will see you next time. Oh, that was stupid. See you next time, guys.